everybody, I'm Michelle Carre.
And I'm Matt Carre.
And this is Riding in Cars with Cars.
With the Carre Group of Redline Real Estate.
Today we're on our way to pick up Jeremy, who has lived in Airdrie 3 different times.
Yep.
And he is a filmmaker.
Yeah.
What a cool job.
That is a very cool job.
Can you imagine you're at a networking event and you go up to someone, you're chatting, and they say, "What do you do?" And you're like, "I'm a filmmaker."
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. It's cooler than saying, "I'm a realtor."
Hey, that's fun.
Yeah, it's not that cool though.
Anyway, so we're going to go pick up Jeremy, get him in the car, and learn more about what he does as a filmmaker and what his passions are and why he's come back to Airdrie 3 times.
Riding in Cars with Cars?
Okay.
Riding in Cars with Cars, take one.
Take one.
Alright.
Well, welcome to the car, Jeremy, with that.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. We've already introduced you as a filmmaker, and now you have solidified yourself with, what do you call that thing?
Clapperboard? Yeah.
Clapperboard?
Sure.
As a filmmaker, as far as I'm concerned.
Jeremy, what got you into filmmaking?
Oh boy. I've always been kind of on the artsy side of things. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a comic book artist. So I spent a lot of time in my room drawing and just thinking up stories and whatnot. And that kind of spun into 3D animation. I got really interested in that when that came out. So I went to school for that for a while. And then that kind of spun again into kind of live action filmmaking and stuff like that. So
yeah, nice. Easier.
Take 2, question 2.
There you go.
Nice. That's
Love
now
it.
Michelle's the new key grip.
Perfect.
That's so fun.
Awesome.
After a long day of filmmaking,
Yes.
you love to go home. An ideal dinner is steak with some scotch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think those are all the words Matt loves.
Yep.
So let's
Lots of
talk about
coffee.
steak and scotch. Well, you go ahead.
We might as well talk
I'll play
about
with the
steak and
clapperboard
scotch.
back
So-
here. You chat.
Sure.
Steak, it's pretty simple. What's your favorite kind of steak?
Oh man, I love a tomahawk actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
So medium rare?
Oh,
you're medium
for sure.
rare guy?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I'm even kind of like leaning towards the rare side of
Yeah.
things these days. You know, I just feel like the more flavor that you can pull out of the meat, the better.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, then finish it with a glass of scotch.
For sure.
So are you a Highlander? Are you an Isla? Smoky, non-smoky?
My favorite right now is Auchentoshan.
Yep.
It's been the 3 wood's been a really great scotch for me for a long time.
I'm personally Highland Park.
Okay.
And then Springbank are my
Great.
2 go-tos.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you want a really great single malt, it's not a scotch because it's not from Scotland.
Yep.
But Amroot, which is actually
Oh yeah, the Indian one.
East Indian,
Yeah,
yeah.
really
Indian,
good stuff.
Fantastic, and it's a lot cheaper because they can make scotch in about 3 years.
Yeah.
What it takes the Scots to do 12 because of the humidity, the heat
Sure.
in India. So it's fantastic, and it's about a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Speaking of scotches not from Scotland, Japan has some really
Yeah,
good stuff too.
they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I love finding those little kind of the non-traditional scotches and having samples and stuff. In fact, I've been trying to get a video kind of podcast off the ground for a long time called Scotch Bastards, where we
I love it. That's
we
great.
meet up with somebody who knows something about scotch,
Yeah.
and me and a couple other drunkards will get together and kind of make each other laugh, drink scotch,
I'll put my-
and learn something.
And have a steak.
Yeah, have a steak. Oh,
Wait a
man,
second.
even better.
This might be good. Maybe, and then we can have ribs for dessert.
Ribs for dessert.
Ribs for dessert. I'm good with that.
I love it. Jeremy, what project are you working on? Right, you probably have a few.
I do,
But
yeah.
what can you share about one of the projects that you're working on right now that you're excited about?
I've been working on a documentary for a long time about a Canadian war hero named Leo Major. And he fought in the Korean War and World War II. And he's kind of like Canada's Rambo. He single-handedly liberated an entire city in the Netherlands overnight.
Wow.
And that's just one of his kind of accolades that he holds. But I'm gonna shoot like a little kind of 10-minute proof of concept trailer type of thing this summer. Try to drum up some interest and get it off the ground.
That's great.
Yeah, you've told me this story in the past, and we've had it's a lot longer conversation than what he just gave you.
Yeah.
And it's a fascinating story. I can't wait till you actually put it together.
Me too.
And get to present that to everybody, because it's just a fascinating story what that guy was able to do.
Absolutely.
So when we were asking you about you know, how long you've lived in Airdrie and everything. You said that there was quite a funny story to that.
Oh yeah.
I'm very curious.
Yeah, well, when my wife and I were friends in high school, and as we all kind of graduated together, we kind of, you know, pinky swore like, never ever move back to Airdrie.
Yeah.
A common conversation.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
I had the same one.
So, you know, the years go by, and we're living in Calgary, and you know, as I mentioned, we're having a second kid, and kind of looking around Calgary for a new place to live, something bigger, and we just kept having to get pushed out to the outskirts of Calgary, the razor's edge, as I like to call it. So as we were doing that, we, you know, Lorena brought up the fact, like, well, hey, we have family in Airdrie, we have friends in Airdrie. Why don't we just look at Airdrie? And I said, yeah, I can't believe you brought Airdrie into the conversation. But we came out here. Yeah, we promised. So we came out here and we looked, and, you know, sure enough, we fell in love with the place we live in now, and it was a great decision.
What are your exits from Airdrie?
Yes.
You moved to Texas.
Georgia first.
Oh,
yeah.
Georgia first.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Texas.
Yeah.
So, what's got better barbecue, Georgia or Texas? Because they've got distinct.
That's your
different-
hard-hitting question
That
for
is
this
my
interview.
hard, because I can
Big time.
pronounce Pollock pretty
Yeah,
easy.
you got the name on this one.
So, Georgia or Texas for barbecue?
I gotta say Texas, only because a buddy of mine's dad owned a tiny little, like a barbecue shack.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we would, you know, when I played football in Texas, we'd win a game and go to his dad's barbecue spot, and he would just load us up with ribs and everything that we wanted. We'd sit down on the picnic bench and just eat to our heart's content, and it was amazing. It was the best. Like, it was better than almost better than the victory. It was like, we're getting barbecue now?
Yeah, that's your
Gear off.
inspiration.
Let's get this barbecue going on.
You're a Justin Timberlake fan.
You know, what I really like I like this song. I do like this song. But what I really like is the video for this. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's actually a one shot, which means that there's no cuts in the video. Technically, there's no cuts. There are cuts, but Justin Timberlake, he's kind of doing his little beat maker, and then he kind of walks through this hallway and into this elevator. You can actually hear it in the song later on. He gets in the elevator, goes down, and Chris Stapleton's in this other elevator, and they meet down at the bottom, and they're playing their guitars, and they look up, and there's this big chorus of people playing instruments and stuff. And but there's one particular move that they do in the video where they're holding the camera, and they turn the corner, and Chris Stapleton's at the end of this hallway, and the cameraman's moving towards them. And what they do is called a Hitchcock effect, where they do a zoom, and they move the camera forward at the same time, so you get that effect where the background is moving towards the person, and it gives that kind of like creepy, like, it makes you feel weird when you see it. And they do this technique during the one take, and that itself is something that you would set up and try multiple times over and over again, because it's such a technical thing. So it's like the cinematographer, the guy running the camera, he just threw it all on the table, like, hey, check out what I can do. Boom, and it throws it right in the middle of this video. And I think I caught it the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that in the middle of this one take. And then the rest of the video happens, and then all of a sudden there's 50 people doing the chorus, and they're still going on. And it's such a technically challenging event that happened in the middle of this video. And then at the end, the AD pulls up the clapper, and you see it's first take, and it claps it at the end of the video, and you're like, get on the first take, man!
Clap it, Michelle, clap
Seriously, it was I was so impressed.
Take one.
And then I listened to the song over, like, I wasn't even listening to the song at this point, I'm just watching the video for its technical aspects. And then I'm like, and the song is good, and the video is good, and I just became obsessed with it and watched
So the whole purpose of Riding in Cars with Cars was essentially to introduce the city of Airdrie, the citizens of Airdrie, to people like yourself. I mean, you've lived in Airdrie on 3 separate occasions.
Yeah, I have.
But how many people in Airdrie actually know that there's a filmmaker in town? Like, you know, we've got other people that do that kind of work, but I don't know if they'd actually consider themselves "quote unquote" filmmakers. And that's what you brand yourself as. And I know you do music videos.
Yep.
You're putting your other documentary together.
Yep.
And that's just so again, it's just neat for us to be able to tell the people of Airdrie that there's people like you in town.
Yeah. The thing about my company is we do a little bit of everything. We're kind of a script to screen production house, which means that we'll do everything from the writing of the script, the very beginning, the essence of the video, to the post side of things, which is the editing, the video editing, the audio editing, the color correction, the effects, the titles, all that stuff. So when I'm here at home in the office, I'm editing, but when the call comes through, I'll go wherever they need me.
So if there's an application for, let's say, business owners in Airdrie,
Yeah.
that they need something done, what's the application that you're able to provide them? Is it commercials? Is it videos? Is it?
Sure, I think it's on a kind of a per case basis. I mean, we've done a lot of work for CrossFit 403 here in Airdrie. It was for events that they've done, as well as we're looking at doing some kind of training videos.
Okay. You do cultural videos for people as well?
Sure, yeah. We do some cultural videos. We've even done some training videos. Well, not training videos, but some kind of explainer videos for the city of Airdrie with their new transit system and even the recycling.
Oh, nice.
Stuff. Yeah.
Cool. That's great.
So if someone has an idea that they want to explore with you, how do they get a hold of you? What's the best way?
You can go to dreadnaughtdigital.com, or which we're now currently rebranding to just dreadnaught.ca.
How do you spell that?
It's DREADNAUGHT.
Okay. And they can call you?
Yeah, you can call me. Hit me up 403-605-4295.
Before we go, Jeremy,
Yes.
Dreadnaught, what made you come up with that name? I've always wanted to ask you this. I've just never done it.
It's a combination of things. It's one of my favorite kung fu movies. Yan Wu-Ping directed a film called Dreadnaught, which is really good. Kind of a funny classic. And also just I like the name, and I like the meaning behind it. To dread not is to not fear, not dread things.
Yeah.
So
I love that. That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the car.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was great to learn more about what you do and see the world through your eyes a little bit. Even just chatting about the Justin Timberlake video, that's just so cool to see that perspective. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Go check it out. It's pretty awesome.
And we're going to get some steak and scotch.
Let's do it. It's time.
It's time, definitely time. A little bit of
Weather is
barbecue.
right.
A little tidbit.
The more you know.
Steak and go right by our first love shack together, Michelle.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Cut that. We're still hot. No, we were hot back then too.
serious. I can't put dad jokes in the outtake.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not happening.
We should keep using the clapper. Did you change the 2 to the 3?
Oh, no.
God.
Shootsy.
It's hard to find a good key grip these days.
That's right.